Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the show. Today, we're talking about resilience. In fact, we're going to talk about resilience this whole week, so I'm very excited. And let me just say this up front. Resilience is not about being strong all of the time. It is about what you do when you don't feel strong at all. Because life is going to get tough. It's going to hit you. Unexpected bills, bad news, burnout, health situations, crisis. It's family stuff. It's not if, it's when. So instead of telling yourself, just stay positive, I'm going to give you 5 real things that you can actually do when life gets heavy so you don't spiral, you reset. And if you can grab even one of these today, you're already ahead. Here are 5 ways to stay resilient when life gets tough without pretending everything is just fine. Welcome, everyone, and let's get started and dive right in. If you like what you hear today, please hit subscribe and the like button. That really helps us out here. We're trying to grow this channel right now, and I'm trying to bring you really good information that's going to help you in your everyday life. So let's dive in. First of all, tip number 1, control what you can. I think that's part of the problem, is that when things hit us, we become overwhelmed and we try to fix everything at once. It feels like we have lost control of everything, when in fact, you probably are only losing control of one piece of life, one small piece of life. Probably everything is pretty much still in control. It's this one area of your life that is spiraling out of control, and it starts to make you feel like everything is out of control. It's like when you feel like everything is a catastrophe, like nothing is going right. In fact, that's one of the first things that we start to say to ourselves is, I don't know what I'm going to do. Nothing is going right. Everything is going wrong. We move into this all or nothing, everything, don't know what I'm going to do. So you need to pause and you need to understand that it's one element. And you can't fix everything at once. So let's focus on the main thing that is the main thing. Shift from why is this happening to me to what can I do right now about it. I think that's another feeling that in resilience is we start to feel like, why me? Well, why not you? Because you're a human and everything is going to happen to everybody. There's sort of this expectation that, bad things only happen to certain people. And that just isn't true. They really happen to everybody, and challenges happen. Sometimes it feels like you're getting hit all at once with maybe several things. But a lot of times, too, they're all not as bad as they seem. It's probably that big anchor item, and we just have to figure out not why is it happening to me, but what can I do to get it under control. I know for me, that's another issue that I have is I'm a fixer. I like to fix things. I like to find a solution to things. And when there is not an immediate solution or I cannot fix it, sometimes that's very frustrating for me. And what you need to do is say, what can I do to improve this situation? So even if it isn't fixed 100%, it might be better if you can just even fix a portion of it, just a piece of it, so that you're getting on the right track. So resilience is start small, not big. And I think that that's the other thing, is we feel that we have to be this really strong person, and resilience is breaking it down to small pieces, taking one step at a time, and not catastrophizing everything else around you. Tip number 2, stop the spiraling early. So catch yourself before everything gets completely out of control. Mental spiral. We give a pattern to interrupt. So one of the things that you can do when you start to feel like mental spiraling. And I have certainly, ever since things changed drastically with my business in COVID, I know exactly, because I'll start thinking about things, and then pretty soon I'm thinking about everything. And then I get anxiety. I start to get heart palpitations. And so a good interrupter is, okay, what am I going to do to interrupt this pattern? And for me, that is, maybe it is going and working out. Maybe it is getting some exercise. Move your body, change your actions, talk to somebody on the phone that you enjoy talking to, and don't talk about your entire situation. Sometimes talking about a part of your situation can be helpful because other people are able to help you see things maybe in a different light or give you a broader view of the situation. So another thing that I like to do that is very helpful for me is to write it out. So when I am faced with a huge dilemma, I like to write the whole thing out so that I can see it. Either that is on paper, it's on a whiteboard. I like to sit down and make out my pros and cons. I like to list what are my top 3 things that maybe I could do to try to change this situation or fix this situation. When I can start making lists and I can start to feel like I am making progress on it, it starts to make me feel like I've got a little bit more control in the situation. Tip number 3 is create a baseline routine. So when we are faced with a difficult situation, a lot of times we just throw everything out the window, right? So we've got to stick to that basic routine. And also I'd like to call this compartmentalizing. Like if you're really struggling, stick to your main routine, whether going to work, working out, doing your morning routine that you have. Stick to your basic routine as much as you possibly can, because the minute that you start to get out of your routine, I mean, I'm going to be really super honest. It's interesting that I'm doing this topic because I've had a couple of rough days. And one of the things that I did is exactly what I am telling you in here not to do. And that is, I haven't worked out since Friday. And today is Tuesday. So it's like, why? Because I've got to figure this out. Oh my gosh, the world is falling apart. What am I going to do? I have to make huge, major life decisions, and I have to make them all right now. And the truth of it is I don't have to make all of them right now. I have to sort of create a plan. But if I would have stuck to my working out, if I would have gotten in the exercise, if I would have done my routine, I worked out a little bit on Sunday, so that's not entirely true, but not a full workout. I did, though, because I felt like I'm not doing anything. I did clean my whole house, a part on Saturday and part on Sunday. So that helped me to shift my mindset. But by Monday, it was right back again. And so what we have to do is exactly what I'm telling you. Try not to break your routine and try to learn to compartmentalize. Like, okay, I'm not going to think about all of this right now. I'm going to give myself 2 hours tonight to sit down and try to figure this out or to work on this. Because when we start to get into a mindset of this is happening to you 100% of the time, which usually it is not, or if you've got the situation, it's not coming at you. You don't have fiery darts. It feels like it, but they're actually not coming at you. So if you can stick with your routine and then even schedule that time, compartmentalize it to say, okay, this is going to be my focus. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to work on this. I'm going to try to come up with a solution. And that is what I tried to do for a couple of hours each day. I'm trying to write down, what are my options? What options do I have? Next tip is number 4 is do not isolate yourself. This makes it harder. You will spiral more. You will feel like you will start to make the situation, you'll make it bigger than it actually is. We make it worse than it is. So try to not isolate yourself. Try to talk to others. Who can you lean into? Who can be helpful for you? Who could be a sounding board for you, if nothing else? So, and a lot of people can see through things that you can't see through. You can't see, the forest for the trees, for example. It just becomes so overwhelming. So text a friend, sit with someone, meet somebody for lunch. Just being around people is so refreshing and so heartwarming and can really help you to sort of ground yourself a little bit and to feel like everything is going to be okay. And I know there's sometimes too when I'm talking to people and then they talk about what situation they might be going through, sometimes it helps me to put my situation into perspective. Not that I'm diminishing mine, but it's like, yeah, lots of people have issues and lots of people are dealing with a lot of different things. And look how they're dealing with this, or look how they're doing. And they may tell you, yeah, today is a good day for me. Yesterday was a horrible day for me. But that is why we have to learn to see people, because it is going to help you to just feel like you're not alone. When we are facing difficult situations, we feel alone, and then we make ourselves feel even more alone by being alone, by isolating ourselves, by carrying all the burden, carrying all the weight yourself. So let's try to make some appointments. Let's try to see some people. Let's try to have some conversations. And tip number 5 is give yourself a way out. Remind yourself, this is temporary. This is a season. I am going to get through this. And what does it look like? Start to vision what it looks like on the other side of it. Start to look and see how life can be different, how it's going to be better, how once you get through this, then what is that picture of success or healing or whatever the situation may be. So remind yourself that this is just a chapter of life. Sometimes it's a season of life, but sometimes it's just a small chapter of your entire book of life. And don't let that one chapter define your entire existence. And we have a tendency sometimes to do that. We need to be reminded of that whole entire book of life that we are, that is so unique and special and strong, and that we can do hard things. That's what I tell myself, a lot of times is I can do hard things. So, and we can. And encourage the future, like encourage in your mind, like fixate on what the future is and what that's going to look like, how you can be happy in that place, on what things are going to be better for you. So these are 5 tips that can be extremely helpful when you are faced with a difficult decision. And remember, being resilient means that you can come back from it. That is really what it is. I think a lot of times we get, oh, you have to be strong. Well, you can also feel weak in a moment, and there's nothing wrong with feeling and acknowledging that I'm feeling weak right now. I'm feeling vulnerable right now. This is really hard for me. That's okay. And instead of trying to push it away and pretend like it doesn't really exist or that it isn't really that bad. But remember, though, it's just this piece. It's not everything. So I hope that this is helpful to you, because life's hard right now. A lot of people are faced with a lot of challenges right now. You've got probably maybe financial challenges. You could have health challenges. And a lot of times when you've got really bad financial situations, that's not good for your health either. So remember, And that's what I keep reminding myself. Whatever I'm going through, I need to stay healthy. So, in staying healthy is going to be continuing to eat healthy, drink lots of water, get my exercise in daily, and that's going to help me to sleep better. So, all of those things are going to contribute to your overall well-being of getting through this situation that you are in. So it is one piece of your life, not your whole life. And things can be figured out. Sometimes they feel unsurmountable, and I understand that. But by breaking it down and just trying to figure out one piece of the puzzle, not the whole entire puzzle. That's a really good analogy when you think about a puzzle. It's like you don't just sit down and start, putting the whole thing together. You probably work on all the ends first. That's the first thing that I do. And then I start putting I like to coordinate my puzzles and put like the different colors that are schemes that go in places. And then I start to look at one small section. It might be like, a tree, or it could be a lake. That's sometimes always harder to do because it's just all this blue. But depending on what it is, I will fixate on one small thing and look for those colors and look for that. And my focus then becomes very hyper focused on one section of that entire puzzle. And then you start to look for that one piece that is going to fit in a certain spot that you can just see what it looks like. And if we can start to look at our what feels like unsurmountable situation, it's just a small piece of the whole puzzle, and start to look at what section, what can I focus on? What can I work on right now? Instead of saying, I have got to fix the entire thing today. You probably aren't going to fix the entire thing today. So by even letting that go and acknowledging it, it's going to help you to grow in your resilience. So thanks everybody for joining in today. This whole entire week is going to be about resilience. I've got a special treat for you on Wednesday I'm really excited about, so make sure that you tune in. I am going to refeature one of my top 5 podcast guests, and you are going to love it, and talk about resilience. You are going to get to hear that interview. I'm going to set it up for you. So please join us on Wednesday. It's going to be awesome. And it is filled with a lot of hope and encouragement. So I hope that you will join us. Thank you.